Here. Is there sound now? What is going on with the show every time? Testing 1, 2. Is there sound now? It is every time. It's always something with the show. We started off. I think one of them are joining us again. Well, I have one of the guys back.
Okay, so
I hope.
Yeah, Willie and I got cut off.
That's really weird. You guys got cut off right literally at the last second. I think Steven's back. Steven is back. So we always have something. I thought my sound was working again.
Can they hear us?
You can hear me now. Well, I thought that Michael B's in the chat. Jason's here. Thank you, guys. We have Paul. I guess sound went out again. You guys both dropped. Hopefully. Oh, Willie's back. There he is. Okay, hold on. Because it does the right way. Hold on. Here we go.
Well, we were sitting there going, yeah, we should just hang up and just call him
there
back.
There he is. Willie. Everyone's
Willie
here.
Just sitting us going, okay.
We can finally get kicking old school off to the show. Once again, lost both my co-host, and my guest. Sound went out.
It wouldn't be a kicking it old school without
no. And everything went perfectly smooth right up to we went live. We tested everything out, and again, the ghost of Glenn's past came out here and just killed everything out. So first of all, Willie from Arcade USA, got to bring that up too. We got your logo here. We go, boom. Willie from Arcade USA, and also the Toy Tomb. He has more than one channel. Want to welcome you to the channel today, Willie.
Welcome,
Hey,
welcome,
thanks.
welcome. So, introduce yourself a little bit with what your channel is all about, and pretend you're on a date and you're trying to sell yourself. Go for it.
What is my channel about? I have no idea. Basically, I just make videos and things I enjoy. Mainly, it's arcade related, of course. That
Hence
and
the
retro
background.
toys. Yeah.
That's
That's
the
pretty
one
much
thing I
what my
like about
channel
your
is.
channel, for sure.
Well, Willie's been on for about 10 years. I think we're talking about it before. His wife is a huge Centipede fan. You know, he buys New Wave toys like me. He got his New Wave Centipede, and she pirated it. It's gone, bogeyed.
Yep, it's
She
gone.
took it. So, and
She repossessed it.
And my understanding is Willie does have a sizable collection. He's got a lot of not just electronic games and consoles. We got a lot of toys as well. But you're limited to this one room still, right? This is one area of your house. It looks like it's big, but it's really not too big, is it? You're kind of crammed in there.
No,
No.
it's very small. Basically, I would say it's a 10 by 10 room. It's not very big. Got a lot of cabinets though. I got stuff packed everywhere in this room.
Well, there's not much empty space between your boxes back there, so it's like I think I see the wall grain, wood grain finished behind the cartridges there, but not much of it, to be honest. So that's what I like about your show. See, Willie's show is about stuff he likes. He does the pickup stuff, and at the end of the day, you're there to see him and the stuff he collects and gathers and all that stuff. And you have a job that allows you to travel extensively to go visit these retro stores and stuff, right?
Yeah, I travel over the United States, Canada. Sometimes I go overseas. I'm all over the place.
Well, that enables you to, while you're in the hotel room, just sitting there watching whatever, you look up retro stores, I imagine, or something, and just go, okay, let's go for a ride. I'm going to be bored here. To the car and go find some goodies. And I'm sure from your channel, it sounds you've been pretty fruitful in your findings most of the time, which is great. So that's awesome. I love your channel. It's one of the first channels I started watching, along with you, Metal Jesus, John Riggs, Gamester 81, and you were up there, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm subscribing, and and you and me have known each other through other adventures, we'll call it. We'll just leave it at that. And then it's not what it sounds like, guys. It's just this thing. Anyways, never mind. Let's move on.
Well, real quick, the Rexer show said that Willie plays lots of games, which is cool, and that's what Willie will do. Willie will pick up a handheld. He'll play through the game. Willie's like me though. We're not the best. We're not the best at playing the games, but
I'm terrible at games.
But you love them. That's what
I love them.
And actually, Willie, I've been watching Willie for ages, but I remember when he first did his 5200 paddle mod, when he modded the 5200 joystick to play paddle games like, Breakout and stuff. And that was one of the cool things. So Willie does some mods too, some cool things you haven't seen before. Even the, what was that one called? The Blaze Pong. Willie was one of the first people to modify that
I sent that one to you.
He did. And I did mine a different. Willie actually put a new potentiometer in there, which is probably the right way to do it. When you turned his potentiometer, it actually worked, moving the paddle the right way. I simply gutted the mouse ball or the mouse wheel, which is all it really is, and I took out that little clicker in there to make it smooth.
Yep.
But Willie does some good things. He has mods, his gameplays. He finds I remember the Pac-Man clock he did a thing on with a little Pac-Man going around.
Oh, yeah.
So Willie does a lot of cool things, and he travels all over. So he'll go out to locations and find game stores, right? And he'll do, which I thought was really cool. He goes with his company. He could be in Ohio. He's going to Florida soon. He can go to Delaware, and he'll find these old gaming shops, and which I think is really cool. Have you done any of those recently, Willie?
No, I pretty much quit doing pickup videos, but I still will go look for like an old retro store or a antique mall or something like that, just to go have something to do instead of sitting in the hotel room. And a lot of times you run across some really great stuff, like this past weekend, that Star Raiders thing back there. I found that at an antique store.
It is.
Like,
I mean,
it
is an antique store. I mean, it's an antique thing, but Star Raiders, go ahead, Willie. Good.
Yeah, it's a hanging advertisement. It's on really thick polished styrene.
Okay.
It's two-sided. It's meant to hang up off the ceiling, and it rotates in the air. I remember seeing one of those at the service merchandise back in the day, and always wanted one.
Well, now you got
one.
If you
don't mind me asking, would you pay for it?
Too much.
Oh, you did.
Oh, one of those, huh?
But I had to have it. Me, I don't really care about prices per se. If it's something I really want, I'm going to buy the freaking thing.
I agree with you. And, for people who don't know, Star Raiders came out originally for the Atari 400 and 800 computer systems. And it was basically like Star Wars. It really was. It was TIE fighter ships. Television kind of copied it with Space Spartans, but it was basically like battleships and star bases you had to protect, and you had quadrants. And it was an 8-bit computer game, and it was really, really good. What impressed me was they ported it to the Atari 2600 with the numeric keypad, and it ported pretty well. They did a good job with it.
Actually, I was playing that game so much on my dad's Atari 800 computer, he bought me the 2600 version so he could get his computer back.
Wow.
Well, Star Raiders was kind of the killer app, back in the day. It was a phenomenal game. I thought they did a really good job with it. So kudos to you for getting that piece of history. It didn't end up in a garbage bin somewhere. But Willie, one of the things I wanted to ask you too, because we're all around the same age. I mean, I'm 53. I don't know if you're around that age. I'm assuming that you are.
I'm a little older.
Okay, so there we go. So tell me about Saturday morning cartoon Willie. I mean, what were your shows back in the day before even game consoles were around? What did you do on a Saturday morning? Cereal and a show? What would you do?
I used to love Peanut Butter Crunch. I used to eat that quite a bit. And I used to watch old Scooby-Doo cartoons.
Scooby-Doo works.
Speed Buggy. I watched Speed Buggy like crazy. I love Speed Buggy.
So you like the old Hanna-Barbera cartoons back in the day?
Flintstones, Jetsons, a lot of those.
I want to know where those flying cars are at.
They're close. We're getting close.
Jetpacks. That's what I want. Where are they? That's supposed to be the future for us, but they're not anywhere. What's up with that?
It's the same place as Fusion and good Star Wars films.
Yep.
Sure. Sure. So that was your Saturday morning. So the cereal, the cartoons, anything else like maybe movies, TV shows that in the evening and that sort of thing. What's the what was your go-to? The ones that you liked there that you were like, okay, even if it sucks.
No,
we don't judge here. We don't judge here.
I used to watch a lot of Battlestar Galactica.
There we go.
You perked up
Rogers,
Glenn's ears there.
Buck Rogers, both the Buster Crabbe version and the Jill Gerard version.
Well, Jill Gerard, you watch for the ladies in that one.
Oh yeah, of course.
We're all human here. We're all human.
The old Flash Gordon serials.
The black and white ones, the old from like the 30s,
yes.
40s. Was it 30s, 40s?
Yes.
When did they came out?
I think it was in the 40s or so. The old Superman TV show with George Reeves. I used to watch that a lot growing up.
Because I think that went from black and white to color
Eventually.
Yes, it did.
Eventually.
Yeah, like it transitioned into color. Wow, let's
Yeah, it's
all
like, oh,
got
wow.
expensive TV
Now,
here.
when you were a kid, though, I mean, were you getting out of the house? I mean, you watched the cartoons.
Oh,
you had to be
yeah.
outside, right? So, what was your
Oh, yeah.
thing you did? Were you just getting into trouble? Were you friends going out playing kickball, riding bikes? What were you
Lighting up
doing?
firecrackers on your
There you go.
buddy's head, whatever.
I would do stuff like I spent a lot of time out in the woods. I would take my 22, go out in the woods and
Okay, don't mess with
go
Willie.
plinking on
Don't
some,
mess with Willie.
go plinking with some tin cans, things like that. I used to do a lot of modifications to my bike.
Oh yeah,
My dad had this chainsaw, and he was cussing out because it wasn't working properly. So he tossed it off to the side. I took that as, hey, he doesn't want that chainsaw anymore. So I took the chainsaw, I took it apart, I rebuilt it and everything like that, and I adapted it to my bike.
oh my God.
And my dad, he comes home from work, and here I am. I'm zipping down the highway, not highway, down our street on my bicycle with this chainsaw
That's a
welded
two-stroke
onto
motor.
it. And he's like, where did he get that motor? And my mom's like, well, you threw your chainsaw down on the ground. He thought you didn't want it anymore. So I told him to go ahead and use it.
He lost his mind probably.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But,
This is the kind of stories we like here, folks, right there.
He was pretty impressed that I was able to engineer all that stuff because I was only about 6 or 7 when I did that.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He was pretty
We
impressed
like
with
those
that.
kind of stories here.
Yeah. Well, when I was growing up, I took an interest in electronics at a real early age. My dad used to head a home repair shop in the basement, and he used to work at a company called Smith Electric. And every once in a while, he'd bring stuff home to fix at the house, and he would take people's stuff and fix it, that kind of stuff. And I remember when I was about 4 or so, I remember going down to his workshop, and he set me on a bench, and I'd watch him work on stuff. Well, he would start sliding stuff over to me to mess around with, like little dials and knobs, and he would start showing me different things and what they were. And when I was about 5 or so, he showed me how to solder and how to start troubleshooting electronics and stuff like that. And I just took right to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's remarkable. That's awesome.
Real
Yeah,
quick,
nice.
we got a
Cool.
super chat from Hobby Hands. So Hobby Hands, again, we really do appreciate it. His shows growing up was $6 Million Man, which I can totally relate. Chips.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, I was there.
Yes.
Magnum PI. All good shows.
Chips. Holy mackerel.
$6 Million Man. Oh,
Eric
that's a great
Estrada.
show.
The teeth.
With
That's
the
I
glass.
used to watch Chips. Chips was good. I watched Chips also.
yeah.
I remember that.
Oh yeah.
What about
same
Adam
here.
12? Or
Not too many. I didn't watch too many of those.
Emergency was another one.
Watched a lot of Munsters.
The
though.
Munsters. I was more the Adams Family. I did like the Munsters, but I was
And
more the Adams Family.
Yep. Yep.
That was in black and white though for a good part of it, wasn't it? It didn't go to. That was the year of the years where they were experimenting and transitioning from black and white to color.
Right.
Yeah.
And the only black and white thing I had when I was a kid was the Little Rascals.
Which you can't see
Or
anymore.
Our Gang.
Which you
watched a
can't
lot of
see
those.
anymore.
Yeah, because they're not politically correct, sadly.
I know, but you know what?
Just like Bugs Bunny getting his hand blown off, you don't see that no more.
Which is true, but you got
You know?
to take the shows for the time that they were made. At the time they were made, I mean, there's an iconic part of those shows and the generation. All you're doing is you're losing history.
Oh yeah.
You don't see those old, like I said, Bugs Bunny cartoons, or I was not a Woody Woodpecker fan. I'm sure he has his fans out there, but those shows
Not
were
me.
hysterical.
Tom and Jerry.
Oh, yeah,
Tom and Jerry.
You know
I
what?
love Tom and Jerry.
You know what? The part of Tom and Jerry I loved the most wasn't the Tom and Jerry part. You remember they had the House of Tomorrow, the Car of Tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, those were the best ones. Like, they'd always put in a mother-in-law thing in there. There would be like the long car, and it'd be like the wife, the kids, and then they had this little thing at the back of the car and the mother-in-law, and she was just out there. She was a nobody kind of thing, and those were the best kinds, in my opinion, because it's the House of Tomorrow. Whatever. There was a part where he's shaving or something like that in a car, and he hit a bunch of bumps and they were like, okay, he shaved and all those bumps, and then he tipped his hat and the head came off. You don't see
Yeah.
that anymore these days. You don't see that. Those are the best parts.
Well, the thing with our society right now, we're so I'm not obviously, but so politically correct. I mean, someone like Mel Brooks can't even exist today. I mean, and I to a point I get it, but if you can't make fun of each other, I mean, it gets stale. What are you gonna make fun of now?
Yep.
Yep, exactly. We could take a joke.
Jason Murphy's got it right here. Cartoons today, for the most part, they do suck. There's a couple good ones like Invincible, Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Those ones I really do enjoy. But again, most of them are kind of dumb when you look at them. Now in Japan with manga, those are still great, and that's why they're doing so great over here because those are really more adult oriented shows. So Willie, what's like your favorite? What's your favorite manga? Do you have one?
Well, there's a movie, Vampire Hunter, Vampire D or whatever it is.
Vampire Hunter D, yeah.
But yeah, I like that, and I like Parasite Eve.
Ooh,
that's
I do
cool.
remember that one.
Yeah.
If you get a chance to watch Sword Art Online, it's really good. It's really good.
Thank God Papa got it. Thank God for Rick and Morty.
Yeah,
Rick
and Morty.
I've only seen a few of those, but I've
you
really
gotta watch
enjoyed
them.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. I mean, some are really out there, but it's funny as hell.
Yeah.
The best one is Tiny Rick.
I like
Pickle Rick. A Pickle Rick.
Yeah, Pickle Rick is good, but Tiny Rick, it's so dumb. It's funny. Like it's just out there. But I was gonna say a modern cartoon. Well, it's not really a cartoon. If you get a chance to watch on Netflix, Arcane. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Great story. Animation style is amazing. Watch it. Arcane. It's based on the video game, but it's not really video game related exactly. But it's I forget the name of the video game it's based on, but it's really good. Trust me, it's really, really good.
God, I didn't forget about Family Guy. I didn't forget about Family Guy, but I'll have to admit, like the mid years were its best. The early years of Family Guy were kind of and now they've kind of run its course. But that mid-range, they really should have spun off Stewie and Brian. That should have been a spin-off. Them time traveling or something like that would have just been hysterical. But it was a good show.
I can't believe The Simpsons is still on the air. 30 some odd
was it
seasons
90,
later.
Unbelievable. Like 93 or 94 they came out initially?
Yep.
Oh yeah. The early one, same thing. It's really rough.
I think now they just doing it as almost like a bad joke. They're just going to keep just another year, just because. I would have preferred Futurama staying on longer myself. I enjoyed that much more.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it that much.
Willie likes Futurama.
Oh, I love Futurama.
Hysterical. I almost cried though with that dog. The dog 1,000 years in the past, was his friend, and then he got frozen. The dog waited. I felt so bad for that dog, man. I really? It was. He basically what happened was, this dog. He befriended the dog, and like the next day, he kind of fell into the chamber, and he got frozen. And the dog kept going back to the pizzeria every single day until he died, waiting for him. Yep. And then I think he cloned him at some point. And then he time traveled and put him back in the past. Like, and the dog just did the same thing again. It's like, where'd you go? And he's waiting for him again. Felt really bad for him. But it was a good show.
Well, you're a dog lover, Glenn.
Yeah.
And so is Willie here. He loves, I got him on Facebook. He's got pugs every other post.
Loves his pug. Is he around?
He had.
Yeah, he's sleeping. He's on the floor down here.
Well, you recently lost one, and then you adopted another one, right?
Starful. Yeah, Starful.
He was the OG
this year. Yeah,
he was the
first dog I've ever owned.
Yeah. Pets are like family. It's that simple. If people say any different, I think they're full of crap. They're there. Even if it's a cat, as dumb as the cat is, or people think it is, it's still part of the family.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If Willie was to go out, or Steve was to go out, and spend $5,000 on a Star Raiders piece of cardboard, the wife would kill him. The dog would look up to him and say, "Hey, I'm so glad you're home. I don't care what you spent." So that tells you right there why a dog's a man's best friend.
That's right. That's right. They don't care how much you spent. and how foolish it was, maybe, or you need to justify it to that poor animal.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what about movies, Willie?
What are your
Let's talk about
favorite? Like, what are your
movies.
top 3 movies, either growing up or now? What's like your top?
It doesn't need to be 80s.
Top
It could
3?
be
Yeah,
ever.
whatever.
Probably the original Superman with Christopher Reeve.
Good one.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm a big Superman fanatic.
Oh yeah.
Probably Star Wars, of course.
Okay, but now we have to be. Now, this is touchy ground with me. There are different generations of Star Wars, Willie. What are we talking?
Oh, here
what
we
are we
go.
talking
Oh,
about
no.
here?
You opened up a can of worms, Willie. Way to go.
Episode 5.
Episode 5. Okay, hold on.
Empire Strikes Back is my favorite.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, we're
You're
good
the man.
there. Is there after episode 5? What are we talking about? What are you're saying? Star Wars. That's a very big thing.
Oh, episode 5.
Just it. Okay, 5.
That's my favorite.
Okay, but
favorite out of the
there
whole.
are different.
The whole
OG.
shebang is
But
episode
there are
5.
different episodes. You got 5, 6, 7. I'm sorry, 4, 5, and 6. You have 1, 2, and
Right.
3, and then that's really it.
Yeah.
So
We don't talk about.
there is
the
no other ones. So you're more of the classic Star Wars.
Yes. What I grew up with. Yes. Yep.
That's
Good.
what I wanted to hear.
Good.
Thank you, Willie. I didn't have to. I'd have to say, okay, Willie had to go. He had to go.
I thought this was going to be an endless rant. Man, am I ever happy it's not. But the Superman, yeah, you got to tell me that the Quest for Peace is not one of your favorite ones, right?
I don't like that one.
Okay,
I
good.
don't-
Good man.
I don't-
Good man.
No,
Good.
no,
That's
One
the
and
important
two.
one.
movie I like
Superman
is,
and 1
is
and
the
2.
first
Well, the
one.
second one I liked.
One
Did you
and
like the
2.
second one?
I like
Yeah,
the second one.
it was okay.
It was actually supposed
Kneel
to be.
before Zod.
It was originally supposed to be like one film. It was supposed to be. So they ended up breaking it up into 2. But I did like the second. The first one was the best. I agree with you there.
Oh yeah, my favorite one for sure. That's but the Quest for Peace, I don't know what they were smoking there, to be honest. I don't know what they were thinking, sadly, and they probably gave Christopher Reeve a whole bunch of money, and he probably said, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it," And the third one was with Richard Pryor, I believe, right?
Right.
The third one where he robbed the bank
Yeah.
or something.
I
or-
like Richard Pryor as a comedian, but I didn't like him
It's
in
kind
that.
of weird
that
in there.
movie.
Yeah, it was weird to see him in there, and it's
Yeah.
like, I think they were just sort of getting the guy because he was famous at the time, right?
Yeah.
So he did Stir Crazy and all these other movies, and it's like, let's get him in Superman. What the hell? Throw him in the. throw him
Okay,
in
so
the
we got
pot,
we got
whatever.
Superman. We have Star Wars, at least the good ones. What else you got?
At least the good ones.
Oh,
Hey, yeah.
Hobby Hands is deliberately trying to trigger me. And I'm not gonna, Hobby Hands. I'm not going to fall for it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because we know there's no such thing as Ray. He doesn't exist. Imaginary. Doesn't exist.
we don't talk about that here.
We don't talk about that.
These aren't the droids you're looking
No.
for. Yeah, exactly. So what other movies you got? They don't have to be science
No, it could be
fiction. I
anything.
know we're in a science
If you like the
fiction
Notebook,
gang.
Willie, we're not going to judge you. It's okay.
Or
Smokey
Terms
the
of
Bandit,
Endearment.
the first one, Smokey the Bandit, the first one,
So good.
like that one.
Wasn't Dom DeLuise in there too?
Dom DeLuise
Yes.
and back then and Burt
He's-
Reynolds were
It's
like, it
everywhere.
was like,
They were fire.
Yeah.
I don't want fire back then. They were the stars of Hollywood. Yeah, Were they? How many movies did they make? They made 2, 3.
oh, Smoking the Bandits. There were a few. They should have, as usual, should have stopped, but there was quite a few.
But how many?
I want to say there were 4.
2, 3.
I think there were 4.
Really?
Just like Cannibal Run.
Just like
Cannibal
Star
Run
Wars,
was
we don't go
good.
past a certain number.
Cannibal Run 2, not so much. But Jackie Chan was in it. But didn't quite. Oh, yeah.
he?
Well, Jackie Chan was in the first one, I think. Cannibal Run. The second one, I don't think it was Jackie Chan. It was somebody else. Maybe that's
Wow.
why it wasn't good.
News to me.
Yeah, Jackie Chan was in it. Go watch it.
No, I watched Toxic Avenger a few times.
Well, there you
I
go.
have to say.
Can't fault you for that. But you want the second one, not the
So,
first one.
Glenn was in Toxic Avenger 16.
Oh no,
or
Michael
something.
B. Hold on. Michael B. saying there were 7 Smokey and the Bandit.
Really?
movies. I knew there were too many.
Wow.
I knew there were too many.
7?
Wow.
Oh wow! I just can't get over that. 7?
That's amazing.
Yeah, and that
I
just shows how
didn't either.
it bleeds together. But there were some good ones. I mean, it was. And then they had Sheriff Roscoe Pico. No, that was I'm thinking of Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard.
But the Sheriff
Wrong show.
Buford T. Justice, I think, did his
Yes.
own. There was a Smokey the Bandit who was chasing it, but it was just him. It was just him. There was no bandit.
Wasn't that Jackie Gleason?
Yeah, it was just.
He did a quote that my dad got made into a coffee mug that he would sit on the table in front of me every morning for breakfast. And it was that quote, "There's no way that you came from my loins."
I'm going to go.
When he said that, when that Jackie Gleason said that on the movie screen, my dad looked right at me at the movie theater.
That was fun. My better one was,
thanks, Dad.
I'm going to go right home and punch your mama right in the mouth. That one.
Yeah. No.
You can't say that anymore.
No, you can't. You can't.
You'll be on Twitter and people will attack you, and it never ends.
So, Willie, I always bring things back to gaming to some point. So, when you were young, what was the first thing you remember? Was it you were over someone's house, or you had a console, or were you out at a store and you saw an arcade machine? What was your first experience?
For gaming?
Video gaming.
Video games. What is
anything that you first put your hands on this thing and you went, "Oh my God, I love this"?
I would probably say my Mattel auto race I got for Christmas in the stocking.
So, was it for Atari or was it for a dedicated console?
It was a handheld.
It was a little handheld.
Oh, that one. Was that Tommy? Was that Tommy's?
The little white one.
Was that from
Mattel?
Was Mattel, not Tommy?
No, it was Mattel.
Okay.
Mattel auto race.
And that was mechanical. Was that mechanical?
No.
It was LEDs. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the same thing as like the Battlestar Galactica one? It was just the 3 lines.
Yes.
Okay, I remember it now.
Yes.
But you had a steering wheel. There was a shifter, right?
No, it had like a little slidey thing on the bottom that looked like a little car.
Okay.
You moved back and forth. You had a gear shift on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
So that did it for you, really?
What?
That did it for you.
Oh yeah, I was totally fascinated that I could control these.
You know what?
Did you take it apart?
Okay.
Aha! That's my boy.
We all did. No, but the reason I'm saying it's not to make fun. It's to actually understand what does it for somebody. You know what I mean? Like I remember the dumbest thing, and it did it for me. You know what I mean? Like, and people look at it, they're like, "Really? That's what
something got you hooked."
And then that is something so insignificant to some level, but yet significant. You know what I mean?
It's just fascinating me that I could control this little dot electronically on this little screen.
No, when you
it really sparked an interest.
When you opened it, you were like, "I don't understand what this is."
Yeah, because I wasn't too old when I got that, but I understood what was going on. I didn't know all the pieces.
So with that being said,
were you able to put it back together?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
So what would you say is your most prized in your collection right now? What's your most prized collection you would never give up? Star Raiders?
That Mattel missile strike right there in the box.
Nice. Now, did you own that originally, or is that something you found along the way?
No, I found that. That's the precursor to the Battlestar Galactica handheld game. I got both versions of that in the box back there.
I always wanted the Battlestar Galactica. Never found it.
All 3 versions. I'm sorry, all 3 versions. But that missile strike is really hard to find.
It is.
Very rare. That thing's pristine. It looks brand new.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what year did that come out?
80,
roughly
81, 82, right?
Oh, I can't remember.
I don't want to give anybody a heart attack here or anything. Just and
I don't
date.
remember.
Just a date.
My old memory ain't like it used to be, but
no,
yeah,
I'm there.
When I ran across that, it's like, oh, that was like a moment.
Now, is there something you have seen?
We all get
because Willie, I said, goes to a lot of these stores, at least in the past. Is there anything you saw? You're like, oh, I want to get this. You talk to the guy and he gave you the price. You're like, you're nuts.
Yeah, I was trying to pick up a Neo Geo.
Okay.
AES.
Okay.
Yeah, the AES. And I found one at a retro store, and I've been eyeing it. This was like my 3rd trip back to the area over a period of like 3 years.
And it was still there.
Still there.
Wow.
At the same price. I was like, you haven't sold this in 3 years. I'll give you this much for it. No.
Do you remember?
As far as I know, it's still.
Do you know what he was asking for it?
He wanted like $1,000 for it.
That's not worth $1,000. Even in perfectly good working condition, maybe 300. Maybe.
Well, thing is now,
like
I know
working...
I don't have one still yet myself. I know Steven has the Mister. And with the Mister, you can pretty much emulate the Neo Geo so accurately, you don't really need the original hardware. It'd be nice to have, a collector. I mean, Willie.
I've got my MVS back there,
Right.
which is my real thing. I'll have everybody here know I own this list of legit.
Now, I want to say something here real quick too, because Willie's actually. I mean, he's a YouTuber, he's a collector, but he's also a really good guy. I know for a fact that Willie has found things in the wild and reached out to other people and sent them. He sent me things. I know Steven is an avid Star Wars collector of people.
Yep. I'll never forget that.
Oh, the guns doing the float test.
Okay, check this out. So
at the toy store in Columbus, that guy was looking at me. I'm like, I'm telling you, he's telling me to do this. Plop, plop.
Okay, so this is the story. So I finished a complete Kenner figure collection. Then the last one I was missing was this Han Solo that Willie found.
Yep.
And Willie's at the store. And he's like, yeah, it's the whole thing, and it has the gun and everything. And I said, do the float test. And he's like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, what the hell's this float test? And apparently, and I learned this from other people, is you take the guns, and if they float in water, it's a legitimate gun. If it sinks to the bottom, it's a reproduction. And I'm like, okay. So here's Willie at the store confirming a float test, and I felt so embarrassed. And he's like,
well, here's the thing though, Willie,
like,
when that happened, you said, oh, this is the fake one. I'll give you 50 cents. It sank. It's a fake one.
Because those little guns, I'm not kidding, a Princess Leia gun that's from a Kenner from way back, they're really thin and small, they're worth in the excess of $30 for a small blip of plastic. Unbelievable. So anyways, Willie sent me this thing, and I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. Sorry to put you through the float test, but
the guys who own the store got the biggest bang out because they know me from my Toy Tune videos, and they got the biggest kick out of it.
I was laughing, but I was embarrassed at the same time, and I was like, well, I want to know if it's the real thing, because a lot of people, the Star Wars stuff is full of counterfeit stuff. It's unbelievable.
I need a cup of water stat.
And I was sitting there, and he even took pictures of the thing floating on top of it.
You know what's going to happen now?
Oh my God.
All these people selling Star Wars stuff are going to have salt water. Very heavy salted salt water. Look, it's floating.
It's floating. Yeah. So thanks to Willie for scoping that up, because I couldn't find this last Han Solo from the Return of the Jedi's chunk.
Yeah, a lot of times when I'm out traveling and I know people who are looking for stuff, I run across it and I got their cell phone. I was like, I'll send them, tell them, hey, you want this?
Oh yeah, that's the last time I was missing, and I was like, this is fantastic. So I thank you
that's
again
all makes
for that.
People realize that, because people don't know a lot of YouTubers. That's what we're trying to change here, kind of get you more interactive with the audiences. But Willie really is such a good guy behind the scenes. He does things for a lot of people. He is.
He's the genuine article, as they say. In other words, he's not in this to make millions of dollars, although he probably wouldn't mind, but it's not his.
No, that's my intent. We all know that's my intent.
What I understand.
That's my thing.
Glenn, you're just out
that's it.
The big
and the
dollars
women.
and
big dollars and the women.
The women and the strippers with the money, like Duke Nukem. Yeah.
First you get the money, then you get the petrol.
So that's the thing. So if you guys get a chance, go check out Willie's channel. It's awesome. He hasn't posted much lately, but you know what? He's got surprises on there, and they'll show up, and it's like, oh, cool.
But you got to remember,
awesome.
he has Arcade USA. I should have put the other logo here as well for Toy Tomb. And you actually do that.
Yeah, the Toy Tomb. The Toy Tomb's a podcast and a video series. It's a twofer.
It's all in the same channel, right?
Well, the podcast has its own page and its own feed. And the video series is mixed in with the Arcade USA channel. There's no dedicated channel to Toy Tomb. But there's a playlist.
Tell us a little bit about that channel. Tell us really what you do on the Toy Tomb.
Well, the Toy Tomb, I try to find old toys from like the 50s, 60s, 70s, a few of the 80s. Some of the stuff I grew up with are things I wanted that I couldn't get. I'll get a hold of and make a video about. Or things that just kind of intrigue me. Toy-wise from that era, I'll try to pick up just to make a video. A lot of it I get rid of after I make a video because I don't have enough room to keep everything I buy. But I do have a lot of the stuff I grew up with back again, like the until Starbird, got that complete in the box, and a bunch of other toys I grew up with back in my collection again.
But this is the toys, folks, that they didn't have choking hazards on them.
No.
And
those are
they
real
were
toys back then.
questionable as far as
Yeah,
hurting
those are the
your fellow
real
players.
toys growing up. We had the choking hazards, like the Battlestar Galactica Vipers and the Cylon Raiders.
Yeah.
That's what really started the whole thing. And sadly, I think it was a 3-year-old did die choking on one of the bullets that shot out of one of them, which changed all of that. Now everything had to be, safe and checked, and that was I'm not making fun of it. That was a tragedy. The little boy died, but
Yeah.
it was fun shooting those things. It was just fun
toy
shooting your
industry
brother with
changed
those
after
things.
that.
It hurt.
But that's the
Yeah.
thing. The toys back then, they didn't
No,
think about all that stuff.
there was a
What
toy
the
they
one
gave a
game that had
radioactive, I think it was
little
radioactive
spikes?
iodine or something like that. It was a science kit, and it was actually radioactive
Yes.
stuff in there. The atomic
The
lab.
atomic lab.
These kids are playing with eating it.
Get the little
Yes.
cloud chamber where you see the little
Yeah.
isotopes and shit bouncing.
You can't even play with the radioactive stuff anymore.
Mommy, why is this bump on the back of my head so big? That sort of thing. No, but like, you remember the ones that, what's it? Not Kerplunk, but you had these spikes that you stuck through this clear cylinder through holes.
That was
What was that
Kerplunk.
game called?
It was a cylinder.
Kerplunk?
You put the sticks through and the balls on top, and you pull them out until it fall through. It's Kerplunk.
Yeah, they were
Kerplunk.
marbles or whatever, and you
Yeah,
just.
Kerplunk.
But those things were pointy and
Yeah.
stabby.
You cheated.
And
you
you
stabbed them.
Like, yeah. It was like, well, that's what would happen most of the time. It was like, screw you, you're cheating, and it's like, oh, damn it. But yeah, so all that stuff. And I know Willie, talking about toys. I had talked to you about this. Remember those Stompers?
Oh, Willie
little
loves those
trucks?
things.
Yeah.
And they're awesome. And I have parts of one here, but I wish I had one. But the prices on those, oh my God, I had no idea. I got into it all googly-eyed, and then Willie goes, "Hey, join this Facebook," because I had talked to him about it because he's a collector. And I went in there, and these people take it serious. Oh my God. There's no messing around with Stompers, man, because and they wheel and deal like, okay, $300 for this little truck or whatever. Oh yeah. I'm not kidding. $300.
Now, for people who don't know,
the tires are
Stompers were little battery, 1 AA battery powered 4-wheel drive trucks. Right, that's all it was.
That's right.
And did the headlights light up on those?
Bottom.
So they were probably back in the day, maybe $8, $10, maybe back in the day for Stompers. And they want 300. I want a big tracks again. I want a big tracks with my little dumpster. That's what I want.
Remember the big wheels?
Oh yeah.
You had a handbrake with 2 little wheels.
I like the green machine.
I remember that one. One of my friends had one of those.
Green machine. What is
Steering
that? Enlighten me.
You got the single wheel in the front, the big wheel like a big wheel does, but you steer from the back.
Oh God.
Oh, it's a blast.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, right? You got all these toys, no indication of safety or whatever. If you choked on it, too bad for you. And you know what? Some of the toys.
Here's a couple of hatchets and a knife. Go play in the field, kids. That's how we grew up. This
lawn darts.
Metal lawn darts.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's have a lawn dart go in the top of your head. Yeah. Yeah, that was the little one, Mommy. Yeah. Is just sticking on the side of your head. Sure. But that's the thing. Back in those days, got better with age. But even in the 80s, there was a lot. Remember the Boba Fett with the launching?
They had to get rid of that too. They had to get rid of that
jetpack thing.
I set off for that son of a gun with those little proof of purchase on the back of the card, and I got the one that had the missile.
You need this one.
Really?
Right here.
You got gypped.
Yeah. One.
Well,
I set off that little guy.
This is a replica that the jet thing actually goes out. So the guy on eBay sells these, and he actually makes
the jetpack
with the ejecting one that they hope you choke on it. I guess I don't know, but basically, I bought it off the guy because I wanted one really bad, and mine's not painted. It's a Boba Fett just in the casting with they call it a J slot. that the rocket
Yeah.
goes to locking J slot. But yeah, back then it's all these toys and these kids dying. And
Well, I got to ask you guys something right now since you brought up Boba Fett. So again, I talked about last time. About Death Battle. It's a YouTube channel where they put two characters, they look at all their stats, and they do a battle and see who will win. The last one they did was Boba Fett versus the Predator. I want both of you guys to tell me Boba Fett versus the Predator, who would win a death battle? And I'll let you guys think about it for a second and give me your opinion. Who you think would win? In the meantime, I'm going to read this. Hobby Hands once again gave us another $5 super chat. Hobby Hands, thank you so much. I'm going to take you back. Remember Captain Power? Yes, I do. And the TV video game. You bought it home and you played it on the screen. You guys remember Captain Power? It was a TV show.
It had the laser
saw
thing
the
or whatever.
advertisements for it.
Yep. So basically, the show was you watched this TV show, and it was about basically like the Terminator type of thing. You know, machines took over, and mankind's fighting for survival. It was a kids show, but it was pretty adult for a kids show. But then you would buy these toys at home, and on the robots, they have these flashing panels on the robots, and you could take your gun or your jet fighter, and you would fire at certain scenes, and the show would fire back electronically and try and get points. It was really way ahead of its time.
I remember that. Didn't have it.
No, it was a good show. If you could find it, the TV show was a worthy watch. Now, Hobby Heads, again, thank you for the super chat. So back to the question. Steven, I'll start with you. Let Willie think a little bit more. Boba Fett versus the Predator. Who would win a death battle?
I think the Predator would. He's a lot stronger than Boba Fett.
And he's not clumsy.
Well, yeah, and he has lifetime of experience with his race hunting things. And I don't know if Boba Fett would go hide in the mud like Schwarzenegger did. So I don't know. I think it's the Predator that would win because of strength and, invisibility. I know Boba Fett probably has some kind of heat vision thing. I don't know. But that's my prediction.
Okay.
If,
you say you have one vote for the Predator. Willie, what do you think between Boba Fett and the Predator? Who would win?
Get a poll going?
A death battle. You know what? I'll start that way you guys are doing. That's a good idea.
Get a poll going. See what everybody else would think. We got 29 folks in the chat. Let's see who would win. So go ahead, Willie. Out with it.
Oh, I would think the Fett.
He'd win?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty confident he would.
I'm a big Boba Fett fan. I have to admit that. I'm not a big Predator.
No, not because I'm a fan. Just the way he is, the armaments he has, the technology he has in his helmet.
Hey, Glenn, your poll, it says yes or no, but who would win?
Oh, see, I'm kind of done with these things,
I'm
aren't
just
I?
saying.
Okay, we're going to change that to, let me send that poll.
Would
do it again.
Boba Fett win a fight or something? Yeah,
let's do that again. Sorry about that. I'm an old man. Give me a break.
It's okay. We're old here. We accept each other. We're good. The memory and the coordination's not so hot, So Boba Fett. So who do we got in the thing? So Boba Fett's scope would see the Predator coming from a mile away, just launch rockets at him while he was sleeping. Yeah. Boba Fett would have the ability to see the Predator.
On Tatooine, he took out that big sand monster on the Boba Fett series.
Yeah. What do they call that? There's a name for the.
I forgot what they called it. Yeah.
Yes, I know what you're talking about, but there's a name for it, but I forget what it is. Who else? What else we got here?
Me of like a Harryhausen monster.
Well, that's the thing. So Spooky Space Kook, he basically said it like what I'm thinking is that he's used to hunting many other aliens. So maybe Boba Fett. And Boba Fett, in the end, he's just a guy, a clone underneath that suit. He's got lots of gadgets, though, for sure.
Okay, so we're going to let the poll run to the end of the show. And we'll see if Boba Fett could beat the Predator, yes or no. And Steven basically said no, the Predator would win. And Willie said that Boba Fett would win. We'll check that again in about 10 minutes and see how that goes.
Yeah, let's see how that flies. That should be interesting, actually.
Jason got it right here. The Sarlacc would win. That's exactly what would win.
The Sarlacc would win.
Yeah, the Sarlacc would win.
Slave One Slave One could bomb from orbit. I did like those seismic bombs on Boba. Well, it was Jango Fett's ship. Those things were the bomb. Those things were pretty good.
Yeah.
That was my favorite effect. to see.
They made that silence at the beginning, and then
Right.
They make that sound. That's pretty cool for sure.
And then also when I read the poll, I'll tell you what the
crate
death
dragon
battle did.
That's what it's called.
Crate dragon.
No, that wasn't a crate dragon. No,
the sand creature. The sand creature was called a crate.
Yeah, it was a smaller creature. It had 4 legs and it stood up. Had these.
Oh,
other arms.
yeah. With the sand people, he
was that little.
Yes,
sand person.
I know what you're talking about. The one he met, the Mandalorian.
Mandalorian took out
that
the
big
dragon.
thing. That's right. I know what you're talking about. It had the Clash of the Titans look.
Yes.
Character.
Okay. Well, I gotta put a stipulation here because Nuna brought up a good point. Are we talking OG Boba or Kathleen Kennedy Boba? I'm gonna say we have to go with OG.
Oh yeah, of course.
Legends Boba, not the Kathleen Kennedy woke Boba. So OG Boba. Yes, OG Boba versus the Predator. We'll put that down there because that is a good distinction.
Yes, we have to preface that, not the tame mare Boba Fett. We don't want that. No.
The mare Boba, yeah.
Yeah, we don't want that one. That one.
Curtis put it right here. It depends. If it's the classic Boba, it's definitely going to be him. Like Empire Strikes Back Boba, he would definitely win. But if it's the Book of Boba Fett, Predator would win. And I could agree with that. I definitely could agree with that.
I have to agree with that too. He would just have to show up in the town and blow him away, and that's the end of it. And it show's over. It's just a slam dunk for that. So what else we got here in the chat? Kathleen Kennedy, Boba.
So Willie, you are married, and your wife obviously tolerates your collection. She enjoys it. You do it. What do you guys like doing together? Is there something you do as a hobby together, or you kind of just have your own separate things and you see each other at dinner time?
No, she plays a lot of Skyrim. She likes that game. And sometimes we'll play some 2-player games like Gauntlet, things like that.
Oh, nice.
She likes making the videos with me when I need someone to play a game with. She loves doing that.
Oh, that's cool.
She's always trying to get me to bust out the Pong game.
Don't lose that woman, Willie. You keep that woman playing that Pong.
They're rare. They're very rare.
Epic Cyclone, thank you. He's watching the show on the road driving from Los Angeles. So appreciate you.
Wow, that's dedication.
Be safe.
Right there.
Definitely be safe. Unless you got
don't drive off.
Unless you have what I have, you have that comma 2. The car drives itself, and then then it's totally fine. You go to sleep. Not a problem.
Just go to bed.
Sleep in the car.
What else? Gargoyles, Jesus.
I know I never watched it. I know about Disney's Gargoyles. I heard it had a very good following, but I never actually saw it. Never saw it.
My wife liked that one. I never watched it.
Apparently, it was kind of dark. Is it true? It was kind of a dark show?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was. It wasn't like crazy dark, but it was a little darker for children, for sure.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't, Spider-Man from the 90s was not as dark, and people considered that one dark in a sense, so it's, yeah.
Pliskin,
what's that?
Read what Pliskin wrote.
Oh, really?
I had a woman. She played games. Head games.
All right. This is a family show.
Oh, my Lord.
What else we got? Movie-wise, TV. What kind of music? Okay, so everybody, Willie's got a, 2020, I think, Dodge Charger.
Dodge Charger.
Yeah, it doesn't have the flag on top or anything like that.
No,
or 01 or any of that. But Willie likes cars.
Oh, yeah.
So what were the cars that inspired you? Either TV show cars. It doesn't have to be like your typical Knight Rider, blah, blah, blah. But was there cars, even not movies, just cars in any era that you went, you know what, that I want to drive because of that thing? Any of them that stood out that you went, one day I'm going to have that in my garage, or,
Probably a 50 Merc.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah, I love the looks of a 50 Merc.
That's pure steel guillotine machine.
The one on the movie Cobra is the kind I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what that is. Wow.
That's a slick car.
You wreck those cars, it's one big sheet metal guillotine flying.
Yeah.
Because it's all pure steel. Those vehicles, it's crazy. It's they're so heavy. You sink to the bottom of a river, they're gone. You don't ask for them back. What about you, Glenn? Any cars that you went, oh, I got to have one of those before
Well,
I die?
19K Fox,
love
put up we all should be saying kit. I mean, we all want kit. We would take kit. But if
what is it, 1982 Firebird?
Pontiac Firebird. But if I was looking for a car that I really, if I had any car I could have ever had in my life, it would have been a Lamborghini Countach. I mean, if I'm going to say what kind of car I wanted, that would have been
no
it.
spare, no expense.
Yeah, that would totally have been it.
Me was the Magnum PR Ferrari, Magnum PI Ferrari. That's the car I wanted.
308 or whatever it was.
Yeah, the 308 GT, I think it was. It's an amazing car. It probably needs a mechanic every 2 miles, but whatever. It's a beautiful car. You know, I'm a Ferrari guy.
Well, 19K Fox father had a black Fiero, and they had body kits. You could have turned it into your Ferrari, Stephen.
Oh, I know. There was a junky thing. What were you saying, Willie?
A buddy of mine's got a gray 355 Ferrari.
Really?
A legit one?
Yeah, a legit one. They let me drive not too long ago. That was a mistake.
Did it haul ass or?
Yes, it does.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've never driven one. I've driven a Porsche, 911, and they're amazing vehicles for a 4-cylinder. They haul, so much. They go so fast. But Ferrari, if I had my choice, but yeah, 1970 Ford Pinto. I got hit by one of those cars as a child.
Oh Lord! That was
it Nova?
What was the car was it? The Gremlin or the Pinto that exploded? That got hit from the rear.
Pinto.
It was the Pinto.
I got hit by one of those cars as a kid.
I always wanted to buy one of those and put like a shellac rope out the back with a red light on the end, like a fuse, as a joke.
I'm driving a bomb.
Really explode otherwise.
Yeah.
Lotus Esprit from James Bond. Yeah. The one
I like the
those are nice cars.
The Aston Martin from James Bond.
The newer one.
The silver car from Dr. No.
Oh, okay, the older one. Yeah.
I love that Aston Martin from Dr.
Those are
No.
nice cars for sure. Yeah.
No one said a DeLorean.
Well, the Lotus Esprit, I think, was designed a little bit by John DeLorean, if I'm not mistaken. It was inspired, the DeLorean, from the Lotus Esprit, if I'm not mistaken.
DeLoreans are okay, just
they don't run well.
Not my cup of tea.
They don't run well at all. They're 6-cylinder gutless wonder. Don't get me wrong, beautiful looking body and everything else, but you step on the gas and it's like, what's going on? Because my buddy's got one and I expected more. Can't even go 88 miles an hour.
No, the DeLorean did not have a very powerful engine. It didn't.
No. If you want it to haul ass, then you put the twin turbo stuff in there. Then it'll go. But other than that, it's not great. It looks better than it drives.
Oh, the Blues Brothers
what do we got here?
An old police car, an old 1975 squad car, could do that. Ooh, how about the
Nova,
the Acura NSX?
Nova.
Forgot about that one.
Which one? Yeah, the Acura
NSX. That's a good
one.
That
is.
That's a nice car.
Yeah.
That is a nice car. Nova. In Mexico, it means no go. They didn't sell very much.
Everyone had a Nova back then. It was almost. Was that your first car? Everyone had it as the first car, the Nova.
My grandma had one, and I was supposed to get it.
My first car was a Ranchero GT.
Really? Nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Mine was a Ford Escort. Terrible car.
Well, that's not. I had a Escort GT. I had the GT.
No. I wasn't that fortunate. I had the gutless wonder Ford Escort. It was terrible. I drove on frozen lakes with that thing, and it was just bad. It was pretty bad. I would turn corners, and a friend of mine would look out the side window, and the rear wheel at the back would go up. The suspension was so broken.
What?
Yeah. So all the weight when you're turning, let's say right, on the passenger side, the wheel would go up off the ground about an inch. A bad suspension on that car.
That is bad.
It was really bad. So, the good old days. So we got 2 minutes, Glenn.
So let's take a look at the poll. I'm gonna bring the poll up. So, and I'll tell you what the death battle said. So the poll right now: would Boba Fett, we're gonna say Empire Strikes Back era, Boba Fett, be the Predator? 43% said yes. 57% said no. And I'm gonna tell you, I know what death battle said. I am also gonna say I personally don't believe Boba Fett would beat the Predator. Predator is just much stronger. The Predator also has very advanced weapons. I mean, Boba Fett does have some, but he's got a lot of weapons, and he's been training his whole life as a killing machine.
His whole race.
Right. Now, with that being said, so Willie did say Boba Fett Steve and I both said no, and I know the answer. And 54% agree with us that he would not. Death Battle said Boba Fett would win. Boba Fett would win because they said he doesn't have the strength, which is true. The Predator sees an infrared, and Boba Fett can also do that with his helmet. He can also have the infrared. Boba Fett has a lot of distance weapons, like his rocket launcher, and his armor can take hits from lightsabers. He's got the Mandalorian armor, so a lot of the weapons that the Predator would use would not go through his
Beskar steel.
Correct. Would not go through the armor. Now, the Predator could still chop his head off, like his father happened there. And in the death battle scene, he threw his like the frisbee, and it did cut off Boba Fett's arm. Boba Fett just picked it up and still beat him. But so that's I think Death Battle got it wrong. But Willie, you called it right. Death Battle agrees with you that Boba Fett would take on and beat the Predator. Now, with that being said, we have to admit that some weaker people have beaten Predators. You can't outsmart them. So, but Boba Fett was not known always for the smarts. Always. But
you know what the sad part about the Predator? He's beaten by mud.
Well, that's true. That is true.
Like, that's a sad part about, and it took Arnold to be dunked in the mud and kick his ass, basically. So you're kind of like, okay. But if the mud didn't happen, then at least you
well, I would say if
probably.
you guys haven't checked out Willie, Arcade USA, or Toy Tomb, also check out Death Battle. It's a great show. I just didn't agree with this one. But again, I still watch. I can't tell how many times I watched the Invincible's father. Was it what's his name? Omega. Was it Omega Man?
Homelander?
No. In Invincible. Omni-Man. It was Omni-Man versus Homelander, and that was just fantastic. I could watch that again and again, and I have. I've watched it like 30 times already.
Wow.
You know both those characters, right? From The Boys and Invincible, both on Amazon. Check them out if you haven't.
But I've watched. I'm an avid fan of.
If you like The Boys,
is awesome.
You got to watch Invisible. It's only one season. 2 are coming.
It's animated.
It's animated, but it is
style.
It is really good.
It's gory animated kind of thing. It doesn't hold back.
No,
it's not like your typical DC Marvel thing. They'll rip somebody's head off kind of thing and all that stuff, just like they do in The Boys. And it's really good. So I really liked it a lot because they tackle different themes in there, and it's really cool. It's really cool.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming, and Willie for coming last minute, and you came through. We made Skype
we had a plan for months. What do you mean last minute? We don't plan last minute.
Spare no
expense. It was a bit last minute.
It took weeks and months to get him scheduled here. Steven.
Yeah. Willie's very hard to get a hold of. We had to talk to his PR people and everything.
So with that being said, we do appreciate you guys out in the chat. You guys make the show possible
every time.
Huge thanks to Willie. I mean, we've known Willie a long time. He's a really good guy. We're very happy to have him on the show. Wish him the more success with his channels, Toy Tomb and Arcade USA. Steven, again, happy to have you on the show tonight. As you can see, I did finally get my base for my iArcade Gold edition Dragon's Lair, which is gorgeous. I'll do a review on it soon. I promised not to do a full review of it yet because not everyone's got the machine yet, so I have to wait a little bit to do that. But it's just Friday, guys. You have a rest of the weekend ahead of you. Make the most of it.
TGIF.
You got a couple days before work starts again. But remember, no matter what you do, always tell your family and friends that you love them. You never know how much time anyone has. Nothing's promised. Tell them that you love them. And what do we tell them after that? We all want to what?
Game on.
Game on, everyone. Have a good one.
Game on.
Tiny Arcade fan page. Remember, don't admire people too much. They'll disappoint you.
Sit, Blue Blue, sit. Good dog.